This is Eagle Owl, and today, did Terry McLaurin admit that Quinyon is that guy? We're gonna talk about it. Also, we gotta talk about CJ Garner Johnson sending a message to the Washington Commanders. And lastly, Darius Slay. He earned his respect, but it's another guy I want to talk about as well with Darius Slay. But let's get straight into it. Right, man. Let's get straight into it, man. Actually, let's not. Do I talk about the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? Nah, we don't talk about that. I stayed up to 1 in the morning shooting this video because I had to watch this Mike Tyson thing, and then all I seen was Jake Paul hold back. Great money grab for them, and I guess they made their bread. But that girls fight before them was dope. But this is not a boxing channel. Let's talk about some Philadelphia Eagles. All right. So let's talk about Terry McLaurin, man. Terry McLaurin, he had a few things or basically a sentence to say about Quinyon Mitchell. And let's go ahead and roll the tape.
A shock.
What was your impression of Quinyon Mitchell, his corner, rookie corner?
I think he's a good corner. I think he plays well. He doesn't really play like a rookie.
He like, yo, man, he's a good rookie. He ain't playing like one. So look, Terry McLaurin, I like that he kept it a buck. He kept it real. I mean, he was on, shout out to Lord Bronson, Guantanamo Bay. He was locked up, cell block 27. Quinyon did what he been doing all year and what I've been trying to tell Washington fans for the longest. Y'all a good team. But y'all haven't ran into a team like ours and y'all catching us in our stride. Like we're rolling right now. I'm like, our defense, it's not to be played with. It's not to be, excuse my language, fucked with right now. It's not. And I heard, well, shout out to Rio. He said Terry McLaurin gonna go for 100 plus. I'm like, hold on, wait, on who? On Slay? On Quinyon? Who is he doing that against? I'm telling you, Terry is gonna go for this and that and the third. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll see. And what he give you? One catch for like 10 yards, only targeted like 2-3 times. I mean, Jaden Daniels, low key, he starts seeing ghosts. Even though we got 3 sacks, I think, on him, but we was getting a lot of pressure. It was one pass where I seen a guy wide open. That was on Slay, and it was Noah Brown, and he whiffed that pass because he was scared of the pressure. I don't even think nobody was there like that. But he dirt past that. Like it was a terrible ball. But all I would say is this, man. Quayon is the real deal. So he did this to Jamar Chase, like Chris Olave, now Terry McLaurin. He got the best of Mike Evans as well. He is locking dudes up, and he's showing no signs of slowing down, none at all. So Quayon, keep this up. I mean, you gotta put him in that. You gotta put him in the conversation as defensive player of the year. And I get it. No picks. It's going to be hard for a cornerback to win defensive player of the year with no picks. I think Sauce Gardner won it, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 picks. Like even if Quinn could get 2-3 picks, I'd say he can get it. But he gotta catch a pick. It just is what it is if he want the award. But we on to bigger things, man. Even if he don't get that award, we trying to get that ring. We trying to get that ring, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. He's gaining his respect. I'm starting to see the national media talk about it. It was sucked to hear some of these national media guys try to say Quinyon name. Quinyon, Quin. You know how I used to say it in the beginning. But I'm like, he's too good for y'all to be messing up his name. Put some respect on his name. His name is Quinyon Mitchell, not Quinyon or whatever y'all was saying. Shout out to Shannon Sharp and those boys. But man, they couldn't say his name right. But Quinyon, again, have been playing at a high level. And again, he's getting the respect he deserves, man. Because I look at his rookie year and then Sauce rookie year. Ooh, it's tough. Because I think Quinyon's more physical than Sauce. Like Sauce right now is going through like a regression because one, the defensive coordinator, aka the head coach, is gone, and two, he don't look physical. I mean, with Sauce, it was always his size, but I could say Quayon looked physical. He looked fast. He could lock up any receiver, and to be honest, Sauce had the New York media. Like I'm from North Jersey. New York media is something different. I love my Philadelphia media sometimes. But New York is a different beast. I'm telling y'all. People that watch me, if you from North Jersey or New York, I'm telling you, we complain about Philadelphia media. My God, if you're bad in New York, you're bad in New York. Now, if you show any good signs and you're good in New York, you're good. Like they push Sauce name out so much, you'll really think like, yo, he is really that guy. He was. Sauce ain't messing with Quayon right now. He's not. And if Quayon was in New York playing like this, everybody will know who he is. For sure. For sure. But let's talk about CJ Gardner Johnson. He sent the message to the Washington Commanders. Let me play this clip of him going into the locker room and him in the locker room.
Washington, respect y'all, but y'all know this shit run through us.
We've been doing this before I got here. You know who run this division, no disrespect. That's a great team, but we know what happens. We know what we gotta do. We hear all the noise, but we understand that we've been winning this division for the past 3-4 years. It's nothing. It's not this or a shot at nobody. We just gotta understand, like, you gotta keep what's rightfully yours. Just keep playing ball.
Your point about how that fourth down stop showed what this team is. What do you mean by that?
Gritty, ready to fight, physical. Understand that we fight.
I mean, I agree with CJ Gardner Johnson, but to be fair, there haven't been no repeats. It been Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles. I think Washington, got one in there when the whole division was just terrible. That's to be fair about who's winning the division. But you can always say is that the Eagles was always in the race. We've been in the race since Jalen Hurts been here. That just is what it is. Washington trying to get back in the race. Washington been beating up on teams they supposed to beat up on. But when they run into some good teams, they can't handle it. So it's gonna be interesting watching Washington because they got some teams they gotta play. They gotta play us again. They gotta play Atlanta. That's not gonna be too easy. I know they got the Cowboys twice. That might be 2 wins there. And I forgot they got another like low tier team, but the Falcons and the Eagles again could trip them up. Yeah, the next game is in Washington, but let's be honest, Washington is our home. Let's be honest, we take over the stadium every single year, so that's no guarantee win. Falcons, depending on that where they at for the seeding, that's no guarantee win. Oh yeah, and they play the Saints. If the Saints get hot, that's not really a guarantee win either. I just seen the Saints gut it out with the Falcons and win. So depending on where the Saints at that time, are they trying to get the 7th seed or not? But yeah, Washington's gonna be interesting. Let's see how they handle this controversy, losing 2 straight. The narrative is out there. Can they beat good teams? I've been saying this since forever. Like I don't think they really good against good teams, but now everybody's starting to see it. So CJ Gardner Johnson, again, we can run this division. We can definitely run this division. The team is young. A lot of you guys are under contract, including CJ Gardner Johnson. We know AJ Smitty, Jalen Hurts, Saquon. The offense is there. They all paid. They all paid, man. Defense, all young. Basically rookie contracts to the Coopers, to the Quayons, to the Jalen Carters, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. We don't know what Brandon Graham's going to do, but I'm pretty sure we're going to find a replacement. Zach Bond, hopefully we get him right, but we got N'Kobe Dean, who got 10 tackles, so we can really run this thing. This thing could be ours for a very long time, depending on how fast the Cowboys rebuild is, and let's see what the Commanders do. But so far, the Eagles are like the dominant team in this division, for sure. I think we're the dominant team in the NFC. But people giving it to the Lions right now. We got to earn our respect, I guess. But we will see, man. Shout out to CJ Garner Johnson, man. I agree with him. But far as like winning the division as years pass, nobody repeated since the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, back in down in McNabb days, if I'm not mistaken. So that's to be fair to the other teams in the NFC East. All right, let's get into the last topic. Even though this is not my typical Tuesday video because we played on a Thursday. But you guys know I like to give a recognition to the guy that's not getting a lot of recognition. And that's Darius Slay. Darius Slay is not getting a lot of recognition, which is pretty understandable how Quinyon's been playing. But Darius Slay been playing off the chart. The only thing I'm worried about Darius Slay is his health. But let's go over the numbers. So Darius Slay targeted 16 times, no touchdowns, 6 catches allowed for 83 yards, a passer rating of 54.9 that he allowed in 5 PBUs. Absolutely insane. So Slay's been playing at a high level, man. He's been holding it down. We basically asking Slay to be the cornerback too, and he's thriving. And we know Slay can guard any wide receiver in this league as well. The only knock on our corners is that they're not getting picks, but Reed Blankenship and CJ Gardner Johnson been getting the picks. Even we know N'Kobe Dean got one, Zach Bond, like everybody else is literally getting picks besides our corners, which I'm okay with. As long as they holding it down, I'm rocking with them. But like I told y'all in the beginning, there's another guy I want to give flowers to. He deserves it, and that's Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell been taking a lot of heat because the drop off is so significant between him and Saquon Barkley, which is pretty understandable. It's him and Saquon Barkley. We know Saquon Barkley is playing like the best running back in the league. I think he is, simply because I think he's more of a passing threat over Derrick Henry. We know Derrick Henry is a locomotive for sure, but giving the ball to Saquon, just dumping it all to him, we know what he can do. And we know what he can do running out the backfield. He's just as dynamic as a Derrick Henry. But what he got over Derrick Henry is running the ball. But back to Kenneth Gainwell, man. Kenneth Gainwell came in with I know everybody was holding their breath like, oh God, Kenneth Gainwell. We hand the ball off to him. I forgot what drive it was, but I think it was a drive we scored. He got like 13, 14 yards. Okay, we hand it off to him again. Get 10 to 11 yards, get another first down, and then he get an extra 5 to basically get us at the goal. And he was running tough. He was running tough. I think he even looked good at special teams too. Kenny Gainwell had a pretty decent day. Of course, it's going to get overshadowed by everybody else. But Kenny Gainwell, when his number was called, he did his job. So the offense didn't stall out because of Kenny Gainwell, because that's what been happening in the past games. Saquon do this, Saquon do that. Okay, he need a breather. Okay, Kenny Gainwell, give us some. He give us 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, maybe even lose a yard. But this game, none of that. He was just positive, big positive yards. So shout out to Kenny Gainwell. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about everything? Terry McLaurin, he was on lockup time. Darius Slay, Kenneth Gainwell, and what CJ Gardner Johnson had to say. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.